To everybody in Lyon, France that showed up to Backlash, y'all were rowdy as fuck. Shout outs to you guys. If you guys were there, if you guys were at Backlash and you are subscribed to this channel, post in the comments below your thoughts on Backlash, because holy shit, what a PLE. Like, think about this, right? You look back on last year's Backlash when it was in San Juan, when it was in San Juan, Puerto Rico. You had literally a San Juan street fight between Damian Priest and Bad Bunny. You had as well Bianca Belair versus Io Sky. It was absolutely incredible. This year's Backlash 100% topped it. No cap whatsoever. I'm not going to waste any time. I am just going to get straight into the results and the review of Backlash. And holy shit, the first match of the night was absolutely chaotic between the Bloodlines, Tama Tonga, and of course Solo Sikoa against Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. And it was indeed chaotic because the bell didn't even ring. They were just beating the holy hell out of each other, and it took a shit ton of security, producers, and WWE referees to come out to just literally split them apart. And SmackDown GM Nick Aldis was like, you know what? Go ahead. Actually, how did he say it? I don't speak French unfortunately, but luckily I believe it was I believe he said Fassi quit to view. I'm like butchering it. I apologize to all my French fans out there, but basically he said do whatever the hell you damn well please, because he ended up turning it into a street fight. And unfortunately that kind of backfired, because even though Kevin Owens and Randy Orton were able to gain the upper hand the first half of the match, the second half was what made all the difference. As I believe as Kevin Owens was pinning, I believe, Solo, none other than Tama Tonga's own brother, Tonga Loa, who is the other son of Haku, came out and hit both Randy Orton and Kevin Owens with steel steps, which allowed Solo Sikoa to hit Kevin Owens with the Samoan Spike. And now the new version of the Bloodline has grown stronger than ever. And one can assume that Paul Heyman is yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say that Paul Heyman is in desperate need of help. And he was looking at Jey Uso like, get me out of this. But to be fair, Paul Heyman brought it upon himself. He chose to join the Bloodline as their special counsel, and now it has backfired on the Hall of Famer. But honestly, aside from the debut of Tonga Loa, Tama Tonga has actually proved himself to be a massive threat. Literally, he is the Karrion Kross of Friday Night SmackDown. Probably the biggest threat we've had in a long time. So I can almost guarantee you that with both members of the Guerrillas of Destiny, as they called themselves in New Japan Pro Wrestling, I can almost guarantee you that they're going to be a threat to the tag team division on SmackDown. So A-Town Down Under better get ready because Tama and Tonga, they're gonna go after those tag titles. I can guarantee you that. But this was pretty chaotic, absolutely incredible. I'm giving this one easy 4 stars. Easy. Could it have ended differently though? I mean, it could have, but the only problem is that there have been rumors that WWE is planning to bring in more Bloodline members to continue the the Bloodline saga, but there's no point. In my honest opinion, there's no point in continuing the Bloodline saga, because with Roman Reigns no longer WWE champion, and with Paul Heyman, just like looking like a deer in headlights, it's at a point now where there's like no point. There's like no point. It's come to the point right now where the story has become more predictable than ever before. And it was here's the thing, when Roman Reigns was champion, the story was so unpredictable. Roman Reigns became the new Rowdy Piper. Just when you think we have the answers, Roman changed all the questions. Now, with Solo potentially being the new tribal chief, one has to wonder if we're ever going to see any more members of the Anoa'i family show up. Maybe we might see Jacob Fatu, the Samoan werewolf. Maybe we might see I don't know, Zilla Fatu or Lance Anoa'i. It's possible, but we will have to wait and see. But this one, 4 stars, easy. Next up is the triple threat match for the WWE Women's title, as Bayley defended against Naomi and, of course, Tiffany Stratton, who, as Corey Graves was right, on commentary, he was right. Tiffany was indeed the dark horse, because of the fact that the only championship she ever held in WWE was the WWE Women's title, the NXT Women's title. The NXT Women's title, and she held on to the title for a good 5-6 months before losing the title to Becky Lynch. And honestly, one has to wonder if Tiffany Stratton was indeed prepared to be on the big stage, such as Backlash, or perhaps such as a SummerSlam, or perhaps even a Survivor Series, maybe even a future WrestleMania. This match was that proving ground for Tiffany Stratton, because the thing is, Bayley and Naomi, they've already been champion before. They've won championship gold at WrestleMania. Obviously Naomi at WrestleMania 33 in her hometown in Orlando in the Citrus Bowl, and then of course Bayley just last month defeating Io Sky, becoming women's champion again. But this was basically it. This was the proving ground for Tiffany Stratton, and I think in spite of the outcome, which I don't think it'll shock you at this point, but Tiffany Stratton has indeed proved she is ready, but she still has a lot to prove. A lot to prove. But obviously this was indeed back and forth. Moonsaults were flying all over the place. Fists were flying. It was just pure chaos. But of course, in the end, Bayley was able to roll up Naomi to retain the WWE Women's title, and then of course an embrace for both from Naomi to Bayley, telling her, "Hey, you got me. Next time, I'm coming for you." Is it possible? Perhaps, but only time will tell. But this one, I feel like the build-up could have been better, in my honest opinion, because when you really think about it, Tiffany Stratton was eliminated by Bayley in the women's Royal Rumble match. Then Tiffany Stratton at Elimination Chamber in Perth eliminated Naomi. So when you really think about it, actually, if I remember correctly, Naomi, I think, was the first one to be eliminated. If my memory serves right. Yep, Naomi. Yep, I was right. Naomi was indeed the first woman to be eliminated, and it was Tiffany Stratton that picked up that pinfall over Naomi. So again, the build-up could have been better. Like, I feel like if Naomi hadn't have gotten herself involved with Damage Control, I feel like maybe, just maybe, we would have seen a match between Tiffany Stratton and Naomi, and the build-up that would have led to Backlash would have been just a little bit better. And I think as far as like having a different outcome, I think Bayley probably still would have retained the title. But still, 3 stars, but still, my opinion, absolutely incredible. The build-up could have been better, but I am gonna give this one 3 stars. But speaking of main event, Jey Uso, he was gonna be first in line to challenge Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight title, and honestly, this was here's what I find funny. Because when you look at main event Jey Uso and how all of this came to pass, this all started when Cody Rhodes brought Jey Uso over to Monday Night Raw as a singles competitor. Yes, he and Cody did become tag team champions by defeating Priest and Balor, but Priest and Balor were able to regain those tag team titles just 2 weeks later because of Jimmy Uso, which led to War Games, which led to Priest and Uso having a series of tag matches against one another over the next several months after that. And then of course too, WrestleMania, Jay defeats his own twin Jimmy in what many people thought was a terrible match, but I didn't really see it that way in my opinion. That also led to Damian Priest cashing in Money in the Bank on Drew McIntyre, no thanks to CM Punk. But that also led to Jey Uso helping Cody Rhodes finish the story in what was literally what would happen if Triple H was directing Avengers Endgame. And that all led to the very next night after WrestleMania, Jey Uso becoming the #1 contender, winning a Fatal 4-Way. And that led to right now. So this rivalry had been brewing literally long before, actually even before Jey Uso became a singles competitor. Because let's not forget, Priest and Balor were the ones to challenge the Usos for the tag team titles, not this past January, but at Raw 30. At Raw 30 last year, back in 2023. So the rivalry kind of goes from that up until now. So this has been brewing for well over a year. But the funny thing is that Priest told Finn Balor, JD McDonough, and Dominic Mysterio, literally the rest of the Judgment Day, hey, I don't need you. I don't need you helping me out. But it didn't matter. It did not matter, because with the help of Finn Balor and JD McDonough, Damian Priest was able to defeat Jey Uso with a South of Heaven chokeslam from the second rope to retain the World Heavyweight title. But the thing is, though, is that the crazy thing, had JD McDonough not gotten involved and took Priest's foot, put it on the bottom rope, Jey Uso would have walked out World Heavyweight Champion. Literally. So that right there was the ultimate outcome. And Damian Priest would have had arguably one of the shortest reigns in the legacy of the World Heavyweight title. Because when you think about it, when the world title was first introduced to WWE by Eric Bischoff in 2002, and he awarded the title to Triple H, the shortest reign was, I believe it was the Big Show. Yeah, I believe it was the Big Show holding on to the title for about 4 minutes, for about like 3, maybe 4 minutes at best, after he had defeated Mark Henry to win the title. But of course, Daniel Bryan was able to cash in and become champion. So that right there was one of the shortest reigns ever. So, but aside from that, that right there would have been a short reign for Damian Priest. But of course, Judgment Day got involved. Priest retains. Again, had Balor and JD McDonough not gotten involved, that moment where Jey Uso had 3, that was when Jey Uso would have been world champion. But again, the build-up was absolutely incredible. This goes back over a year, dating all the way back to Raw 30, when it was the Usos versus the Judgment Day for the tag titles, and it all boiled down to tonight. And honestly, it was absolutely insane. 4.5 stars, absolutely incredible. But now we move into the WWE Women's Tag Team titles between Damage Control's the Kabuki Warriors and, of course, the team of Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. The crazy thing is that with Bianca Belair and Damage Control, this had been going on for years. Literally ever since Bianca Belair defeated Becky Lynch inside Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee at SummerSlam, and Bayley returned with Io Sky and Dakota Kai. All Damage Control has done was just torment the living hell out of Bianca Belair. And just when you thought that Bianca Belair was done with Damage Control at one point, nope, they come crawling back to piss her off. And this was the make or break for Bianca Belair. It was either she's able to finally put the past behind her, or would the past continue to haunt her. This was absolutely insane, absolutely chaotic. Nobody knew who was legal, who tagged in where. No one knew what the fuck was going on. But the closing moments will shock you. Jade Cargill literally had Kairi Sane in for a chokeslam, turns her around into a glam slam that she calls Jaded, and that allowed Bianca Belair to hit Asuka with the KOD, and she was able to pin Asuka to win the women's tag team titles. Thus, Damage Control is now no longer has any gold whatsoever, and it is all over for Bianca Belair. She can now put Damage Control behind her and move on with her career. Honestly, I don't know who in the hell is gonna take the tag titles off of Bianca and Jade, because think about this: the tag team titles can also be defended in NXT and potentially at a NXT PLE, and the next one up for NXT will indeed be Battleground. So it'll be interesting to see who will step up to the challenge from now up until Battleground, or maybe even perhaps Money in the Bank. Only time will tell. But this was absolutely incredible, absolutely horrendously crazy. 4 stars easy, man. You can never go wrong with the tag titles being that good. I know that some people considered it a curse, but I think with the Kabuki Warriors have held the titles since this past January, I feel like now that Bianca and Jade are the champions, maybe the curse will finally be lifted. Only time will tell. We'll have to wait and see. But we now move into the main event between the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes and of course the phenomenal AJ Styles for the undisputed WWE title. The question that was on everyone's mind was this: can Cody Rhodes carry the burden of becoming the WWE champion? That was the massive question that was on everyone's mind, and AJ Styles was the perfect person to test Cody Rhodes because it's, as you know, because AJ Styles said it best that he once wrestled Cody's father, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, from AJ's days in TNA. Think about that. Back when TNA and the NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance, were actually a united front. So think about that. Think about that, you guys. But this was absolutely incredible. There was like near fall, literally near fall after near fall, counter after counter. These guys were pretty much who AJ Styles is. Phenomenal, absolutely incredible. Obviously, yes, AJ Styles did injure Cody's back and his arm a bit, but even with that, Cody Rhodes was able to defeat AJ Styles with Crossroads to retain the WWE title. And excuse me, honestly, I think after Backlash tonight, I can honestly say that the respect, both personally and professionally, are definitely there, no doubt about it. But now the question is this: now that Cody Rhodes passed the test, what will be next for the American Nightmare? Only time will tell. But honestly, this was the match that everybody wanted to see. An instant classic between two of the absolute best ring generals we have ever had in quite a long time. I'm giving this one 5 stars. Absolutely incredible. Overall, the card was absolutely stacked. I mean, aside from the triple threat, the rest of the card stupid stacked. 4 stars easy, man. This was absolutely incredible. I can't wait for King and Queen of the Ring. It is going to be incredible. And now the question becomes this: where does AJ Styles go from here? Guess we will have to wait and see. But with that being said, guys, that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more premium live event predictions and results in the future, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.